What's up, people? I am back. So, I guess before I get into this video, I'll get into what I got going on this week because I relatively have an idea now. Tomorrow, in the morning, before I go see Last Voyage of the Meteor, because I'm seeing that tomorrow, I'm gonna review the Meg really quick. I might just do that in the morning when I wake up, and then later that night, some point, Last Voyage of the Meteor review, spoilers, of course. Monday, top 11 already made. The list is already made it earlier this week. Top 11 1998 movies. Tuesday, fuck, I can get my days. Tuesday, for sure, gonna be doing Casino Royale. Wednesday, we're gonna be doing Total Recall. Thursday, I think I'm either gonna... No, I may not do a review. I might, try to find... I might do that Scream video I've been kind of wanting to talk about, where I go off about what they're doing with Scream 7 and all that, just because I want to talk about this. So I might do that on Thursday instead. And then Friday, which I cannot wait for, Spider-Man 2 review. And then, I guess... I know I said I fucking wasn't going to, but because it's a DC movie, and this is technically going to be, close to the last of the DCU. I think there's this one, and there's shitty Aquaman 2, which I might watch that. Not, obviously, a Warner Brothers gifted one, of course. But, yeah, so I might watch Blue Beetle, again, Warner Brothers exclusive gifted one. They'll gift me. So I'll watch that, and then at some point next weekend, we'll, whatever. Anyway, today, we are going to be roasting this Screenrant article. Basically, I just saw this 12 harsh realities of watching the original Jurassic Park trilogy. And I'll say this. There's maybe a few points, and I'll get to them, where I'm not going to say I agree, but it's okay, that's not a bad point, but a lot of this is just shit. I guess we'll just get right into it. Fuck it. Anyway, they're number 1 or 12. There's 12. I'm probably not gonna hit all 12. The ones I don't feel like even addressing, I probably won't. But the number 12 is pretty bad. All 3 films tell the same story. That is retarded. The first Jurassic Park was about the park itself, and a few chosen people got to see it. And obviously it addressed, man versus nature and, their effect. But, okay, so their point here is that they're trying to say they're repetitive because, they lure them with Alan Grant specifically. They're addressing Jurassic Park 3, which is basically a rescue film about rescuing a boy from an island. Lost World, I guess you could say is a rescue film, but not even in the same way. I look at all 3 films have, and Jurassic Park 3 is not a good one. That's why I don't even really like calling this a trilogy, because Jurassic Park 3 kind of fucks it to where it's almost hard to call it a trilogy. So I don't even know I get what they're saying, but this reasoning alone, the movies are not the same. They're literally not. And you can maybe say that, I'll admit, this last part, Jurassic Park told the same story 6 times, but I'm like, you kind of could say that about all franchises, in a way. So, that's, to me, their least. It never got better than the first movie. I'll agree with you there. I think Lost World's the closest. So I'll kind of give them that one. So we'll skip that. The first movie. Okay, hold on. Give me a sec. First movie is filled with mistakes and a glaring plot hole. Let it see what this supposed plot hole is. So I'm just reading this. Some of this shit doesn't even make any sense. So, because they even say film crew members are caught on camera, so that means that there's a plot hole. What? That's not a plot hole. And I guess I'm trying to find out their evidence for a plot hole, because they're saying that the T-Rex managed to escape its enclosure, which if you actually look, I know it's lore, not in the movie, I know, but people who talk about the actual timeline in the movie, they go into how the Rex actually got out and what its actual enclosure looked like. So, Screenrant, stop talking. Oh my fucking god. None of this is even a plot hole for the movie. I was ready to okay, where's this plot hole? And I'm like, what, the T-Rex, how was it able to get out of the enclosure? That's not a plot hole. Oh my fucking god. The trilogy popularized false facts about... Oh fucking god. Screenrant. They're movies, you pieces of shit. We know they're movies. Even as a kid, I knew that this shit wasn't right. I fucking knew that the Dilophosaurus didn't fucking spit venom fucking shit in your eye. I knew the T-Rex probably did not look like that. I knew the Velociraptor wasn't the actual size that the movie said it was. I mean, it's just... If anything, Jurassic Park is how people got into dinosaurs. Yeah, the dinosaurs are not accurate in the movie, but the movie makes you actually look into actual dinosaurs. The amount of time, after this movie, dude, the amount of, dino books, toys, just everything that was into dinosaurs after this movie, and looked into the actual creatures. So this movie, if anything, it helps that. Oh my god. Basically, yeah, they're talking about how the dinosaurs look, which we all know. We know the Dilophosaurus doesn't actually spit and didn't have the frills on the side of their head. And in fact, are actually much bigger than the way the movie described them. T-Rex in reality did not roar. It made little noises, but it didn't roar like how it did in the movie, because that wouldn't go well for hunting. The Velociraptor, the actual Velociraptor that they use, the actual Velociraptor creature is the size of a chicken. And what the actual creature they base off the Velociraptors from the movie on are the Deinonychus. It's two. Some say Utah Raptor or Deinonychus. It could be either or, where they're bigger size Dromaeosaurs, which are the Velociraptor types. That's the actual creature name. And that's what the Velociraptor is actually based on. We all know that. So why are you mentioning this like you brought up something? Fuck you, Screenrant. Such a just waste of a... John Hammond's the... I'll skip that one. I don't really care. Oh my god. Okay. There's already one. Because the other one was just going to say Hammond's the real villain, which he's not. You made him, obviously... he thought it was going to work. But I wouldn't call him a villain at all. So I didn't really want to address it. Because this next one is what? Most of the main cast is forgettable. Every time I'm just for oh my god. They are actually doing this. They're actually doing this. Unfortunately, the original Jurassic Park cast is just as generic and forgettable. Ellie Sattler is forgettable. Alan Grant is forgettable. Tim is forgettable. Lex is forgettable. The lawyer is even forgettable. Yeah, there's Muldoon is forgettable, guys. Oh my fucking god. Screenrant, like, I get you have to get, like, the fucking, your shitty articles out there, and I know it's bait, but fuck, man. How the fuck do you just say that? Dr. Grant essentially is just a paleontologist version of Indiana Jones. What? They're not even the same character? What the fuck? Why? Because they have a hat? Is that what they're... Oh my god. They really said Alan Grant is Ian, I'm just stuck on that. Sorry, guys. Ian Mount... Fuck. This got me all fucking flustered just because that whole point is retarded. Indiana Jones is like that fucking Alan Grant is Jurassic Park's Indiana Jones. I don't know how. They're not even the same character. We didn't see... Indiana Jones is a fighter, for one. We didn't see Alan Grant. I wasn't say Sam because I'm thinking Sam Neill. Alan Grant, we didn't see him throw a punch. Even in Dominion, he didn't throw a punch. So how is he Indiana Jones? Oh. Oh my god, they're saying Ian Malcolm is like Jeff Goldblum's... No. He is Ian... I don't think Ian Malcolm is anything like his character from, like, The Fly. What are you... Oh my god, article. I get you have to fill space, but holy shit. Muldoon is one of the best characters. Oh my god. He's like some of the most quoted characters in the movie. You know, shoot her. Clever girl. Like, two of the most iconic lines come from him. Oh. Dude. Holy shit. Oh, okay. Give me a second. Their next reason is, only thing revolutionary about the trilogy are the special. What? Okay, I'm just gonna see you. They said that its only unique contribution is the special effects. Like, the scoring. Scoring! Jurassic Park's score is, like, if anything, one thing that stands above everything else is the score. Its plot, same thing. Character development, same thing. You know, Alan Grant's whole arc, obviously not wanting kids to wanting kids because of his whole arc with Tim and Lex. So I understand the kids used in that movie. But, yeah, there's no character development. Okay. Jesus, dude. Like, this is once again them reaching just so they could fill a space. Because, what? Scoring. Jurassic Park Lost World specifically, in my opinion, I love the first movie score, but if we're going just purely just this whole soundtrack, I think Lost World is a better soundtrack. I think that whole soundtrack of Lost World is so fucking good. And I guess let me just address Jurassic Park 3. I kind of been going around this video. Jurassic Park 3 fucked up the trilogy. If you want to say what really fucked up the potential trilogy, was that one. And that was more because of the behind the scenes. But I wouldn't say Jurassic Park and Lost World to me are still iconic. And trying to say like it's scoring or that it, especially the first Jurassic Park, is just generic and all the characters are forgettable. Like, what? Anyway. So it's like, yeah, Jurassic Park 3, I'll admit, the characters aren't iconic. You kind of remember the characters for the wrong reasons. Like, Billy's a shitty character. You remember the Kirbys for being annoying. Specifically the mom who just kept screaming. You know, in the fucking Dino Island. Let's just scream Eric. Loud as fuck. I remember Alan Grant phoning it in. You know, if anything, the only real thing that kind of saved that movie was some of the dinosaurs. The Spinosaurus was cool, minus it killing the T-Rex. But aside from that scene, the Spinosaurus was cool. I thought if you cut out that stupid sequence with it cutting back and forth with the kid and Barney, the Spino scene attacking the boat was kind of cool. I thought the bird cage with the pterosaurs, that was cool. So there's little moments like that, but yeah, that movie's not iconic. But unfortunately, yeah, it kind of ruins. So now that's what the Jurassic Park trilogy is seen as, because it gets that third. You have that. I won't say shitty, because I'll say it's not. I don't hate it as much now like I did back then, but it's still not good. But yeah, but this is still all wrong, especially about the first two movies. Special effects don't actually hold. Oh my god! Of course, you have to fill a slot again. Special effects don't hold up. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That Rex breakout scene still looks good. Even on like my nice fucking 4K TV, it still looks good. Like it looked good when I watched it obviously on VHS on a smaller TV or on like a smaller TV on DVD or on a computer or even on my phone. I've watched Jurassic Park on. It still looks good. That's when you know a movie looks good, if it looks good on multiple forms of media. Like that Rex breakout scene specifically. When that T-Rex steps out, it still looks so fucking good. I mean, I watched the movie a couple months ago now, because for the 30th anniversary back in June, that scene is so iconic. I mean, even the Raptor kitchen scene looks good. When the Raptor gets kicked off, that's like, you could tell that's more CGI, and that actually looked good. So I don't understand what they're trying to talk about. Oh, hold on, stupid shit. Screenrant, your fucking shitty art, your shitty ads and shit. Oh, there you go. Here we are. Oh, they're trying to Spawn. They're trying to Spawn. I like the movie for what it is, but what? Spawn, one of the worst things about that movie was the goddamn special. What are they on about? The special effects are like, sorry guys if I'm yelling. I'm just, holy shit. I don't hate the Spawn movie, but that was like a weird example. Like, okay, Matrix, Fifth Element, I'm okay with those two. And even then, I'd argue Jurassic Park 1 and 2 look better than those movies. I think The Matrix, some of those effects don't hold up. I'm sorry. That flying scene looks terrible. I love The Matrix, but some of those effects don't hold up. So I'd argue Jurassic Park holds up more than those two. But Spawn is like, the animation, that's like one of the worst things about the movie. And I like the movie, but the effects were terrible. Like his cape looked terrible. Because, Spawn's cape is alive. So, like, it moves and shit. So when you get its cape moving in that, and it's, like, really bad CGI, I'm like, what? To act like the effects aren't that great? Oh, they're trying to act like some of the puppeteers being visible, or the cage scene where the dinosaurs can't be seen. I'm like, but that's the first movie. Even the second movie where you see more dinosaurs still holds up. Like all the like that whole hunter scene where like all the hunters chasing the dinosaurs, and you got like all the herbivores running. That looks great. Okay. Spawn. Jesus Christ. The first two oh my god. Just because I've read ahead, so basically I remember this one. Basically they're saying because it's not like Schindler's List or like, I don't know if they mentioned the color purple, but like, and even like the Indiana Jones trilogy, which I guess maybe objectively they're better movies. And they're saying Saving Private Ryan. Okay, on maybe an objective level, those might be better movies, but. And who cares? Jurassic Park is not supposed to be like Saving Private Ryan or Schindler's List. They're not the same movie. Schindler's List is obviously a historical movie about basically the Holocaust. And, oh my god, Saving Private Ryan's a war movie. Jurassic Park's not supposed to be like that. That'd be like me saying, oh, because, Scream came out a couple years, so I can't enjoy Scream because it's not like fucking this war movie. Like, they're different types of movies. And I guess in this case they're the same director, but it's still, so what? They could both be good in their own way. It's such a weird point. It just is. Like, it's such a weird point to me. Schindler's List? Because, Steven Spielberg made Schindler's List. Jurassic Park's not iconic. That's what they're trying to argue right now. I'm like, they're not the same type of movie. But, and I'm going to sound like a dick, but which is the one that more people watch and talk about all the time? Jurassic Park. You could say, well, Schindler's List is a better movie, but do people watch Schindler's List all the time? No. Like, it's a good movie, but it's not one of those movies you just sit down and watch. Jurassic Park, you could just sit down and watch anytime, and that's why it's going to always be in the fucking discussion. I'm not saying Schindler's List isn't, and I'm not saying Schindler's List is a bad movie. And like I said, it's probably an objectively better movie than Jurassic Park, if I'm being honest. But that doesn't mean I'm sorry, Jurassic Park is a film you can just sit down and watch. And that's why it is going to be more in the lexicon and that kind of discussion, because, it kind of destroys their own point anyway, because people aren't just talking about Schindler's List all the time, because you can't just sit down and watch it. Sorry, it's a good movie, but for me, movie's so sad that for a lot of people, that's like a movie you watch once even, or every couple here and there, because how sad it is. That's why Jurassic Park is going to be in that lexicon discussion in that way, because this is a film I would say the first two. I'm not going to say the trilogy, because 3, yeah. The next reason is they basically said that Jurassic Park 3 doomed Jurassic World, which I don't agree with. I think Jurassic World, in a way, saved us from Jurassic Park 3. That's one of the reasons I was kind of happy it happened at the time, because it was just how disappointing Jurassic Park 3 was. Because they're trying to say the Spinosaurus was more of a horror monster than a dinosaur, which it was. Also, this doesn't really have anything to do with the trilogy, so what's even the point of that? Anyway, so the original trilogy had no I'm gonna, this isn't even a reason, because you know why? Blame the people who made Jurassic Park 3. That whole production and all that, the whole story of it, it was written on the spot while they were filming it. There were so many ideas for Jurassic Park 3. There was multiple. And some of the other ideas actually sound better than what we got. But sorry if you're hearing sirens and shit. Fucking people, they fucked up behind the scenes. And that's why there's no conclusive ending, because Jurassic Park 3 was written on the spot. So it was more of the production of that. That was that's such an intellectually, especially if you actually know the story. That's the reason. And also, I bet it was probably not intended to be a trilogy either. That's the other reason. This was back in those times. You weren't going in to make a trilogy. Sometimes you're going in and you just want to make a one-off story, but then sometimes you get greenlit a sequel, and then the sequel does well. It's like, okay, do a third one. So sometimes, yeah, they're not everything, it wasn't like the original trilogy, which was always intended to be a trilogy, right, for Star Wars. That wasn't the same with Jurassic Park, because if you remember, the first 2 movies are books. Then, they made the Lost World book. There wasn't a Jurassic Park 3 book. So they fucked up. They didn't have Steven Spielberg. So behind the scenes, yeah, they fucked up with Jurassic Park 3. That's why. But that's not a reason to bring down as a trilogy, because Jurassic Park 3 fucked up. Granted, I think Jurassic World trilogy kind of ended awful with Dominion, but I still probably say it's better than this, because 3 was just a bad movie. So that's all I can say. That's why, but that's the reason that there wasn't a good, because And also, that wasn't intended to be a trilogy like that. Hold on, this stupid shit's fucking being weird. I'm trying to refresh it. Okay, that shit wants to be weird now. Okay, we'll do it live. Just let it. I guess I'll just go on more about that read. Like, they never planned on it being a trilogy, so it's like a weird reason to me to bring that up. As a reason, because they never planned on it being a trilogy. Like, it was always gonna be. God, this stupid shit. Oh, and I guess I'll just get to their number one. The magic of the first movie was and never will be replicated. I mean, I'll agree with that, but that doesn't mean the trilogy was bad. Well, I'm not calling it a trilogy, but that doesn't mean Jurassic Park Lost World was bad. Like, Lost World, I think, still maintains that magic. That scene where you see, like, all the herbivores and the hunters chasing them, I really think you get that. The music, and even the fucking Rex's scene, you get that magic. Even though it's a bit darker, but you do have that magic still. You still have that great special effects, and this is 4 years later. So I don't even agree with that. But yeah, I'll agree. It will never be replicated. Like, yeah, Jurassic Park was a meteor, was a lightning in a bottle, obviously. So that first Jurassic Park, yeah, it's gonna be special, but that doesn't mean Lost World doesn't have that same magic. It has a different magic too. Like, I think that too. You can't you can't compare everything to the first to where, like, oh, just never attempt again. Obviously, there are cases, yeah, maybe no attempt again. But, like, if you can be a good sequel, be a good sequel. It doesn't have to be, oh, because you're not, like, as good as this iconic first movie. You're just gonna always be seen as a bad movie, even if you're actually good. But you're just not exactly as good as that first one. Yeah, we agree. The magic of that first one's not gonna really be replicated. I think Lost World had it. I think that's the closest one, and that's because Steven Spielberg directed it. I think that's the big reason. But, and even, like, just behind the scenes, like, you still had that, like, the magic there with the way they were making it. It was just 3, they really fucked it up. I think 3 is a case, if they just did it right, didn't write it while they're fucking filming, if they actually put the work into writing the script and in the story, try to even get David Koepp to come back. Get some of the people who did the work from those first 2 movies to come back. And you can make a decent story. Maybe it won't be as strong as those first 2, but you could at least make something decent. So that's the real reason why the trilogy didn't work, because they didn't plan for it to be a trilogy. And you want to know who was kind of in charge of Jurassic Park 3? Kathleen Kennedy. So that's another notch in her belt. Not kind of screwing up the original potential Jurassic Park trilogy we could have had. Because they were writing it on the fly, and we got this dumb movie that's all over the place, the tone's all over the place. You could tell the ideas were being thrown while in the movie. You can notice that. Like, oh, they're doing this while they're making this scene. So yeah. Screenrant, you're fucking gay. I'll say this article isn't as bad as some of that last one, the fucking Sound of Freedom one pissed me off. This one, there was some cringe in there, but just keep Jurassic Park out your fucking mouth. So Screenrant's still fucking gay. Y'all gay. Tomorrow, gonna try to do the Meg in the morning. And then later tomorrow night, I will be doing Last Voyage of the Demeter. So that's my plan for tomorrow. And yeah, fuck Screenrant. Alright, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.